Shruti, Smriti, Purananam, Alayam, Karunalayam, Namami, Bhagavat Padam, Shankaram, Lokashankaram. We are trying to understand the state of a realized being, state of an enlightened being, right? To make you understand a little bit better what is the state of enlightened being, I'll give you an example. Okay. A child, a young small child is playing in the ground, and father shows the birds flying there in the sky. Okay. Child enjoys seeing that bird because there's a life there. So then father says, bird, it's a bird, it's a bird. Okay. It's a parrot, he says, parrot. The child doesn't understand it's a parrot. Child enjoys seeing the bird. For the child, life is a mystery. Mystery means I can't understand. It's an experience. Okay. So five times or 10 times, father says it is pig. It's a parrot. It's a parrot. So after that, the child remembers it's a parrot. It's a parrot. Okay. So now next time when you see the bird, the mystery is gone. There's no mystery. Okay. It's a parrot. The memory comes. So the memory interferes in our experience of life. You understand? The memory becomes a substitute for reality. Reality is always a mystery. Reality, nothing can be known in the world. Everything is a mystery. Okay. The moment you give a name and put it in memory, you start losing touch with the reality. Okay. You start using memory as a reality. Memory becomes your reality. So next time when you see the bird, you don't see the bird. From memory it comes, it's a parrot. So immediately the experience gets cut. In experience, there's non-duality. When the child sees the bird, there's non-duality because you don't know. In the mystery, there's non-duality. In the knowledge, there is a duality. The knowledge comes from the memory. And memory is nothing but name and form. Okay. So you understand, understanding memory is very important part of understanding realization. So you start substituting the reality with the memory. Memory is not a reality at all. Okay. Memory is useful, but it's not reality. Memory of my house address, where I have to go, all useful, but it's not reality. For example, in your memory, something is there. I tell you, you are a donkey. Immediately, image of donkey comes into picture. The image of donkey is not real, but you start associating that with your image. Oh, I am a good woman. Okay, so good woman has become donkey now in your memory. Now that is nothing to do with reality. So you start getting angry and agitated. All our emotions in life are because of the memory, not because of the reality. So memory we start mixing up with the reality. Okay. Memory is very useful for functioning, but it starts creating disturbance in our mind. Disturbance. That's why memory is called chitta. The entire spiritual teaching is the management of chitta. Management of memory, if you understand. Yoga starts with yoga chitta vriti nirodha. Thoughts are coming, stop from thoughts. Yoga chitta vriti nirodha. Okay. So Atma Dhnana, you think that finding the Atma. No. Atma Dhnana is learning how to ignore memory. That's Atma Dhnana. Getting rid of yoga. Even yoga understand that you cannot get rid of memory. It says stop the memory, switch off the memory, practically. Yoga. Jnana says memory is there, but try to ignore it. Understand, okay, thoughts, ignore the thoughts. That's all is jnana. Now, why it becomes important? Okay, you have a map of, let's say, Himalayan region, a beautiful map with where the garden is, where the flowers are. A beautiful map is there. Okay, is map the Himalayas? Map is not reality. Map is a representation of Himalayas. If you keep on going back to the map again and again, you'll never have an experience of Himalayas. So the map is an information. It's for memory, helpful. Memory is useful. Memory map is useful, but map is not the reality. Okay, we have an inbuilt map in us. Map which is built into us. So instead of having a paper map or a mobile map, we have a map built into us. Okay, it's called memory. Now we know very well that map on the paper is not reality, but what we start forgetting is map in our head is not reality. We start living it as a reality. That is called illusion. That's called Maya. So Maya means Nama, Rupa, Kriya. Name, form, and function. So name, form, and function recorded in memory is called Maya. So that is okay, useful. The Maya starts working on you once you start that memory as real. That's all. So here, the memory has two aspects in our life. So there's a functional memory. My office, I have to go there, I have to go here. There's a functional memory. My engineering knowledge, there's a functional memory. But the more problematic knowledge for us is knowledge about yourself, self-knowledge. Who am I? My identity. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm old, I'm young. All these are self-identity is also a memory. Okay. And there is a map of world also. So then one map of the world is, hey, world is full of cheats, criminals. All politicians are bad. Some of these memories are there in our memory. Now, the memory is useful for our functioning, but memory is not real. We start living memory of myself as me, real I. That is the illusion. Okay, and that's the biggest illusion, and that is called avidya. Memory is just the image representation for you to function. Okay, that's why mano, buddhi, ahankar, chitta, ninam. I am not mind, intellect, ego. Most importantly, memory, chitta. So the moment you take memory as yourself, you are in trouble. Because you start living in illusion. Memory is not you. Memory of a Himalayan mountain, a map of a Himalayan mountain is not Himalayas. That we are clear as long as paper. But memory is also a record, just like a paper record of a map, how to go in around it. So what happens between a Jnani and Adnani? Okay, there are three people I'll take. Yogi, Jnani, and Adnani. The yogi learns some techniques by which he can stop the memory thoughts coming out. That's called chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Stop the thoughts coming. So then you feel the peace because there is no self-identity. And that state is called nirvikalpa samadhi. Okay.
Is it permanent?
No. So your jnana, okay, jnana says samadhi is a temporary state. It's like sleep. Nirvikalpa samadhi also is temporary. Okay. So Jnani says samadhi is not a solution. Maybe it's useful. Like anything in the world, samadhi may be useful. But samadhi is not a solution for a realization. What is the solution for realization? You have to find out the difference between the real and unreal. Satya and Mithya. Memory is Mithya. And I am Satya. I means awareness. Okay. So memory, the body, mind, and world is just a representation, functional representation. None of that is real. Then Who am I? I am awareness is also a word. Okay. You are the myself is unknowable. It's, for knowledge to happen, there's a subject-object duality is required. In I, there is no subject-object duality. There's no knowledge possible for me. Ultimately, I cannot know myself. I can be self. Because in self, there's no duality. Self is not a memory. So I want to remember this every time, all the time. Not possible. Because self is not memory. Okay. Self is what you are. So what you should stop doing is taking your memory content as you. Memory content is not you. Memory content is useful. Okay. So what happens to the Gnani is he starts understanding the mithya nature of the body, mind, world, and especially memory. Then he is no longer identified with the memory content. Okay. Whatever is there in memory is not me. He knows. He is very clear all the time. Okay. So because he is very clear all the time, memory doesn't use him. He uses the memory when it's required. So I have too many thoughts because continuously thoughts are coming from memory. Memory is using you. Gnani sees the thoughts coming from memory and sees these are the thought. It's not real. So he ignores it. Compared to yogi who will block the thoughts, Gnani will ignore the thoughts. And once you start ignoring the thoughts, the memory content will start coming down. The reason is simple. Memory is storing of important data. Now, if you say it's not important, the data will start coming down. Right? So this is what happens in case of man. So he doesn't identify with memory. Okay, when he's functioning, but he uses the memory. Somebody says Ramana Maharshi does namaskar to Ramana Maharshi. Bhagavan, I'm doing namaskar. Ramana Maharshi says, Ramana Maharshi blesses, because he knows for functionally he is called Ramana Maharshi. The memory is uses, but he doesn't think he is Ramana Maharshi. He thinks he is Brahman, Atma. He doesn't even think Brahman. He is Atma. He is the self. He doesn't have to think. Okay, it's not a subject of thinking. Right? So this is the difference between Gnani and Adnani. Okay. Suppose I do namaskara to you. Okay. Then you think, oh, he is doing namaskara to me. Because you are identified with the body. Okay. But namaskara is not done to you. Namaskara is done to the Atma, the self. All namaskaras are not a person at all. All namaskaras are to the Atma, the self in the person. Do you know that? When you say namaskara, Atma in me and Atma in you are one. It is nothing. It doesn't nothing to do with body. But when somebody does namaskara, we become very happy. We feel very good. Because we are identified with the body. So it is like an elephant. Okay. The elephant is used with a temple procession. The deity is kept on the back of the elephant. Okay. And when the elephant goes, everybody does namaskara. Elephant thinks people are doing namaskara to me. So happy. One day the elephant becomes old. It's no longer taking the procession. So another new elephant is brought. This elephant gets into depression. Nobody is doing namaskar to me. The elephant means ego. In actually the spiritual literature, the elephant is also symbol for ego. Whenever somebody does namaskar to you, your ego feels bloated. Oh, people are doing namaskar to me. Ego is nothing but memory, content of memory. Namaskara is not done to you. Namaskara is done to the Atma in you. Okay. So Gnani doesn't identify the body. Gnani doesn't identify the memory, but he will use the memory as and when properly required. So the Gnani and Adnani difference is, are you being used by the memory or are you using the memory? That's the difference. Clear? Very simple. So many people understand memory is a problem. Okay, they go for a lot of therapies. I have suffering, memory of suffering. I have suffering, memory of this one, memory of that. Okay, past life memory. So all sorts of memory people want to treat. Okay, in reality, memory is also karma. Okay, karma is also memory. Finally, it boils down to I did this thing, so something has to come back to me, or I have to, something has to go back. The memory is also karma. Okay, understand? Memory is karma, nothing else. Karma is memory. Finally, if your karma is not recorded in your memory, then where is karma? Understand? Finally, but because you are so addicted to memory, you think memory is real, the karma is real. People do a lot of effort to do cleaning of karma, past life regression, okay, past life, do puja, do ritual. So what you are doing is you are adding something more to the memory in that process. You cannot empty memory. So you say, okay, I went to past life therapy for cleaning karma. Again, that got added for cleaning karma, past life therapy. Okay, so it got added to memory. So for cleaning karma, for dropping karma, I went to this place, holy place. So that becomes a part of the memory. Okay.
So here I cannot clean. Only there I can do that. That's
only there I can do, but then that becomes a new impression.
New impression. Okay. What about repression?
Okay. So now you are adding to memory, right? In the see, the problem is not adding to memory, or memory itself is not a problem. Memory is useful to the device. How to use the memory is the problem. How to use the memory is a problem. Memory becomes uncontrollable, okay, when the memory is being handled by the ego. Ego means identity. Okay. So now the memory is not running under your control. Remember, the mind is running on its own, thinking that I am the Atma. Ego means I am body, I am Atma. Atma is body, Dehatma Buddhi. Now the body functioning, ego starts functioning and starting using the memory, uses that and to get some result, and again adds into the memory. This is how karma cycle gets perpetuated. So in reality, you are not a doer at all. Your body mind complex is running on its own like automation. There's no control with the self, the soul. The vasanas are, the memory is also called vasana, impression, or action to be done is called samskara. Vasanas and samskara will keep coming up. Ego will decide, okay, I am the boss. He says I am, and the body or your identity, male identity, female identity, will take a decision. Practically, your body mind intellect mechanism is hijacked by the memory and the ego. Where is Atma? Atma is a silent witness. There is no chance given to Atma at all. It is always reactions, actions, reactions. That's why the karmic cycle continues. The memory and the ego. Ego is also a part of the memory. Okay, ego is also memory. Ego means I am so and so. So finally, the memory and usage of memory called ego, or ownership of the memory called ego, creates a problem of karmic cycle. That's why Sri Ramana Maharshi has a very simple solution, very, very simple solution. Don't struggle with the memory. Okay. The teaching is for the intellect. Find out who you are. You are not what you think you are. What you think you are is stored in memory. So I told you three things yesterday. What you think you are, what world thinks of you are, and what you really are. So the entire spirituality is a question of who really you are. Okay. So the intellect cannot understand who I am really, because intellect only works on memory. Intellect's domain is memory. The awareness is not domain of intellect. Atma is not domain of intellect. So in the process, asking the question, who am I? What you are doing? Every time you bring something from memory, some identity. Okay, you bring the identity called I am a man or woman. The question is, who am I? So this is not I. You don't know what is I. So that identity start dropping.
Who is asking this? Who am I? Intellect.
Intellect only. For intellect only, the teaching.
And the ego starts keeps obstructing that.
No. Normally, ego has taken over the intellect. Ego and intellect become one entity. Instead of intellect and Atma becoming one entity, Sakshi becoming one entity, ego and intellect become one entity. Intellect is under the influence of ego. We can't separate out and say this is what it is. So that becomes a decision maker. So now for that decision maker or owner, we are asking, who are you? So then that ego, every time it fetches a idea. Oh, I'm a woman, I'm suffering. So who am I? Triggers. So at least it doesn't know, it knows only memory. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know real life. So then it starts loosening. Oh, this is not me. Then that record in the memory becomes unimportant for you. So that's how now entire usage of memory is dependent on the I thought. So the self-identity starts dissolving. The memory mind starts dissolving. Okay. Very simple method of who am I will start dissolving the structure in the mind called self-identity. The memory record will be there. Okay, memory record, I am a woman, I was born in this place, all those things will be there. Data will be there. But you don't identify with the data. Your identification in the data is the problem. Okay, so that starts coming down. You will not find the real I. Okay, so finally, the intellect becomes silent. Then Atma, instead of ego controlling the intellect, Atma starts, the intellect works on the Atma, the self, which is Chidabhasa or the Sakshi. So now intellect doesn't react. Okay, ego is a reactive mechanism. Ego reacts based on the memory. So there is a reaction comes down. You start becoming very, very peaceful. Will you ever know who am I? You can never know who am I, because who am I is not an object. You are what you are. It's non-dual. So who am I question is not for you to get answer. It is there to eliminate all wrong answers. Okay, until the mind becomes deeply silent. Right? So a Gnani is a person. Gnani, there's no person, because person also is a memory. I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm doing this and all. He simply is. Okay, he is able to perform all his functions without his self-identity. He will use the self-identity. Somebody goes and does namaskara to Bhagavan. Bhagavan, I'm doing namaskara. He will understand the namaskara is being done to me. But his me is not the body and mind. His me is the awareness, which is non-dual. But when he responds to you, he will use the body and mind. He will use the body and mind as an instrument. Okay. So from unconscious, he has become purely conscious. Now, the pure consciousness doesn't mean that he knows who he is. He knows I cannot be known at all. Knowing is a thought. He has become free from the thought. So that means Gnani has no thoughts. Gnani has enough thoughts. Gnani doesn't have to stop thoughts like a yogi. Okay. Gnani can have thoughts, but he knows what to ignore and what not to ignore. That's why he's Gnani. When to ignore, when to use. Okay. So that's why he's Gnani.
So if we come back to that parrot thing, then the Gnani sees you said Gnani is like a child. So if the Gnani is seeing that parrot, the word parrot will not come to his mind?
No, what I'm saying is Gnani sees the parrot. The word parrot may come to his mind, but he knows the word is Vidya. What is there is experience.
Same like a child. Before the child heard the word.
Not necessarily. He is experiencing, and thoughts he ignores. Then he is involved in the experience, a non-dual experience. The self-experiencing itself.
So does it again become a mystery for him? Like
he lives in a mystery. Life is a mystery for Gnani. Life is a mystery for the child. Only adults start thinking that they know anything about life. So ultimately, self is not knowable as an object. Life is not knowable as an experience. And all our point is spiritual search. I want to know about life. I want to know what is about life. You'll come to know life is a mystery, perpetual mystery, because life is self, Atma. Atma is a perpetual mystery, and Atma alone is there. This you start understanding when you start handling the memory properly, not stopping the memory, not doing the memory, but handling the memory in a right way. Is it clear? We have a lot of idea of a spiritual person or realized person. This comes from our stereotypes, which we see in the TV, which you see on the serials, we see in Puranas. He should be like this, he'll behave like that, They're all just concepts. That's another part of your cultural memory conditioning. Okay. How does a Gnani live? This is the question Arjuna asks in chapter 2. It's called Stitapadna Lakshana. Okay. So Stitapadna Lakshana is a Arjuna asks Shri Krishna, how does Gnani walk, talk, behave? Okay. And in Samadhi. So he puts two things very clearly: Samadhi and walking, talking, interacting. Very sharp question. Because Samadhi is typically taken as a state of mental absorption. Many yogis in Samadhi are not aware of external thing. They are not aware of the body also. It's like almost like a coma or deep sleep. Okay. So Arjuna understands the Samadhi is a state of coma or deep sleep. Okay. Maybe internally something is happening, but you say the Gnani is not aware of the external thing. In fact, many times when people go to Samadhi, they may go to Samadhi for many days without taking food and water and all. So Arjuna is asking, what is the behavior of Gnani in Samadhi and when you are interacting with the world, talking, walking. So this is actually Shri Krishna explains Stitapradna Lakshana, or a sign of enlightened one, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. Okay, many slokas. So one sloka is Dukeshu Anudigna Manaha Sukeshu Vigata Spraha Vita Raga Bhayakrodha Stitadi Muniuchade. So he doesn't get depressed when sorrow comes. He doesn't get elated when the joy comes. Okay, he doesn't have attraction and repulsion. Vita Raga Bhayakrodha, fear and anxiety, fear and anger is not there. Such a person is called established in truth, a self-realized person. So there are many more characteristics are given. For us, what is characteristic is not important, that you can read. But why it is so, I'll tell you. Why that characteristic is there. So that Sri Krishna doesn't tell you. He doesn't tell why, he tells what. Okay. What is important for us, why he is like that. Right? Dukeshu Anudigna Manaha. Gnani doesn't get depressed, okay, when the sorrow comes. Okay. Why it's so? When there's a sorrowful situation in life. So he knows the nature of the world. Everything is anitya, temporary. The sorrow comes and goes. Okay. The sorrow cannot stay for long. Neither joy. Okay. The nature of life is wave. Any experience in life is like a wave. Okay. It's not a straight line. The nature, everything is like a wave or a combination of duality. Okay. For example, in nature, if there's a mountain, There's a valley also. There cannot be a mountain without a valley. If there's a peak, there's a valley. If there's good, there's bad. Okay. If there's light, there's darkness. If there's sorrow, there is joy. If there's joy, there is sorrow. This is the nature of life, cyclical. So if it is cyclical, what is the point of getting depressed when sorrow comes? What is the point of jumping with elation when this joy comes? Everything passes. It's a question of time. Okay. The nature of life is duality, dualism. Everything in nature has opposite and they come together. They are like two sides of a coin. You cannot separate one side of the coin and say this is a coin. The life is always double-sided and both sides are opposite. If there is good in life, there is bad in life at all. If there's bad in life, there's good in life. So many people have a question, why there is evil in the world? Evil in the world is there because there's good in the world. Ravana and Rama exist together. Okay. So always the nature has opposites. That's why it keeps in balance. Otherwise it becomes imbalanced. Right? The balance in nature requires both opposites. But what we want is, we want only one side of the life. I want only happiness. Okay? Or I don't want sorrow at all. That's not possible, my dear. That's not life at all. Nani has understood life. Very simple. When somebody child is born in the family, we laugh. And the child cries. See, the child has more understanding of reality. Birth is a cry for the child, for laughter for the others. And death is the silence for the person who's dying. He is peaceful. That's why may his soul rest in peace. Whereas for other people cry. When you are born, people laugh. When you die, people cry. But when you're born, you cry. When you die, you become silent, peaceful. You see, nature. That means you understand life better than others. But we get carried away by life. We start thinking what everybody thinks is real. Actually, you are doing right. Actually, when you are born, you cry. You are doing right. Actually, when you die, you become silent. That's also right. You don't cry that time. Others people cry. In fact, whatever society is doing is quite opposite of reality. You know. But you start thinking society is real. And you start living as if the society is right. That's your misery. As a child, you had right knowledge. Birth is a suffering, that's why you cry. And when you die, you become peaceful and silent. You know, it's time to go. It's relaxing time. In between, you go to trouble because you start believing what society tells you. If society gives you identity and you have a development identity of society, this conflict will continue when you are alive. Adnani has resolved this conflict. He understands. Okay, he understands the game played by the memory. He understands the game played by the thoughts. So when thought comes, he just watches it. Right? He doesn't get involved in the thoughts. When you get involved with the thoughts, you are like a dog running after a biscuit. Okay. Don't run like a dog. Just watch like a lion. So this Adnani does. He becomes a silent witness of thoughts. Does that mean? So because then he's not elated by joy or depressed by sorrow or elated by joy. He is balanced. A balanced personality is Gnani. So if you think Gnani means somebody great, no, Gnani is evolution of human being. It becomes a balanced personality. Others will be imbalanced. They're totally imbalanced personalities. Raga, Dvesha, attraction and repulsion is not there for him. What is attraction and what is repulsion? Attraction and repulsion is for your identity, not for you. The real you and what you think you are. Okay. Real you is the sakshi. Real you is the consciousness, which is peace. But what you think you are, okay, I am a man, handsome boy. Then attraction is there for the girl. Okay, you think I am smart. Okay, then if somebody says you are dumb, you'll get hurt. Okay, so I don't like dumb people. Dvesha. You are now dealing with the unreality called memory, self-identity, the unreality called identity of other person. You think you know the other person. No. The real person you don't know. Real person is Atma, which is yourself. So when you are hating somebody, you are hating yourself because yourself is there in him also. Okay. Now, can I get attracted by some person? Your attraction is for the person or for the Atma? If your attraction is for the person, it's called moha, attachment. Raga. Raga will always follow the dvesha. That's the law of nature. Okay. I told you, nature is bipolar. Okay, there's a bipolar disorder also nowadays. So bipolar means there are two polarity, plus and minus, good and bad. Raga and dvesha. Please understand, whom you have attraction most, you will get the most hatred from that person, because that's the law of nature. Okay. Then I not have an attraction for the person? You can have, but it should be love, not moha. When you get attracted by a person, you are attracted with the body and mind, which is an image. It's a memory in you, nothing else. If you are really have a person, if you really get over that, then you have only love for the person, because the consciousness in him and consciousness in you are one and the same. Okay. You are loving yourself. That's why Jesus said, love thy neighbor as yourself. Okay. So if you a little bit mistakenly understand, you love the neighbor's wife because your understanding of yourself is a body. He says yourself, which is Atma, which is consciousness. Then you start, there's everybody is neighbor, everybody is you for you. Okay, entire world is my family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because myself is in everybody, all living beings. Then there's love. It's not raga desha. There love, there's no opposite. Okay, attraction, repulsion, this opposite. So the love hatred is not opposite. Hatred is for raga, attraction is opposite. Love is the basic background. When other emotions are not there, only pure love is there. That's your nature. That's what Nani has understood. That's why he's Nani. Bhaya krodha, fear and anger is not there. Why fear is not there? What is the fear? Fear of loss of something. Loss of body, loss of mind, loss of reputation. It can happen with Nani. Then if you know that it is not me, it's only a memory. Do you cry when your memory is rebooted in your laptop or computer? Or a fresh memory. So loss of memory, loss of body, mind, intellect, identity, he's not worried because he's the Atma. The Atma cannot be touched. Atma cannot be destroyed. It's consciousness. Space cannot be cut. When you put a wall, the space appears to be cut, but space is not cut. Like that, Atma, the self, is infinite. It's immortal. Then where is the fear for him? All fear are based on the loss of identity. Some sort of identity or other. That doesn't mean that somebody is trying to kill Nani. He may not run away. He may run away to preserve the body identity for some time. But he's not afraid. He is taking action. Krodha, anger, helplessness. Oh, helplessness is, anger comes out of helplessness. Why helplessness? Oh, things are not happening according to I wish. Who is this I? He is the ego. Ego has its own wishes. The servant has become the master. So you are given entire responsibility of your body mind complex to the servant, and he is taking a ride on your name. Ego has to be a servant, not a master. A master goes on vacation. Okay, then one servant takes over the house and makes all other servants serve him instead of place of master. He becomes the pseudo master, false master. But when master comes back, this guy is silent. Similarly, when you start recognizing yourself as Atma, ego becomes silent. Ego doesn't die. It just becomes your servant. Helplessness is for whom? What helplessness? What helplessness I need? Helplessness, this didn't happen, that's why I'm unhappy. As Atma, I'm blissful. How unhappiness can come to me? So then anger disappears from your life. Bhaya disappears from life. Bhaya Stitadi Muniruchide, he is established in truth. This is the characteristic of a enlightened. Actually, Bhagavad Gita, we think is Krishna teaching Jnana. Bhagavad Gita, the entire Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna's praise for a Jnani. Just Bhakta praises Bhagavan, Krishna keeps praising Jnani.
There is a
Question? Question?
No.
Really?
It's too long.
Where is the question?
Guruji.
Where is the question? Okay. So the question is, what is, how is the Jnani say? Mystery?
No, because
No.
Talk you said.
Yeah, I'll take it.
How is Atma mystery?
No, mystery is unknowable. See, a Jnani, the question is, there's a question, how Atma is, what is it? Unknown.
A mystery for
No, not world is a mystery. So world is a mystery. How world is a mystery for Jnani and Atma is unknowable for Jnani. Okay. See, please understand, we have to take Jnana from two viewpoints. A Jnani's nature from two viewpoints. When Jnani operates in the body and mind, okay, he has a body and mind. He says, he knows that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am awareness, I am Brahman, I am Atma. Okay. This knowledge is in the relative domain in the intellect, knowledge which is born in the intellect. Okay. Which is actually good because all other ignorance is removed. So Jnani knows himself as I am Atma, I am Brahman. Where is this knowledge coming picture? In the intellect of Jnani.
You said he knows that it's unknown.
No, I'm telling you. So in the intellect of the Jnani, the knowledge appears that I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, the knowledge appears in the intellect after all wrong knowledge is gone. Which is I am Brahmasmi, when Am Brahman means awareness. So that is the realization. But where is the realization happening now? Where is this knowledge coming? In the domain of the relative, domain of the intellect. Okay, which is eliminate all wrongness. It is clarity is emerged. But intellect also is an object. Okay, from Atma point of view, intellect also is an object. Right? So when you witness the intellect, when the Atma witnesses the intellect non-judgmentally, there is knowledge which is arisen. I am Atma in the intellect. I am Brahman in the intellect, which is right knowledge. Okay. So now, intellect also is an object, just like body, mind. Intellect is an object which is useful for eliminating all other objects. It is a superior instrument. Then you drop the instrument also. Okay. Because that's also mithya. I have told many times, a thorn has to be removed with a thorn. Like that, intellect uses the thoughts to remove other thoughts, and finally that thought is also dropped. So now what remains there? Only awareness, which is non-dual. Okay, understand? There is, in awareness, there is no knower and known. There is no subject and object. The knowledge is possible where the subject and object is there. Now, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. The knowledge happens in the relative domain when the subject object is there. Okay, all objects are eliminated. Finally, the subject is declared as Atman. But when you go to subject point of view, object also is one. Instrument is not there. Then I am, just I exist, awareness. Okay, so there is no knowledge of awareness. So then there's no knowing possible, right? Okay, that is the state of Jnani, finally. Okay, so here with the intellect you can say I am Brahman, but you drop the intellect also, because intellect also is an object. Then you remain as Brahman. Okay, there is no subject object knowledge. So it's almost like saying, example, if you ask the sun, my dear sun, what is light, what is darkness? Sun says, I don't know darkness. What is light? Also I don't know. Like that in awareness, what is awareness? There's no answer, because I am awareness. Okay, so aham brahmasmi also you say using intellect. Okay, but you'll use it to tell, and you very well knowing that the Brahman cannot be expressed. You're declaring I am Brahman. Then finally you're dropping the intellect also. Then only Brahman remains, pure awareness. Okay, so this is the state of Jnani. He remains in pure awareness. Then he sees the world. Okay, the moment you see the world, you recognize the object. You think that I know bird, I know flower, I know garden, I know this place. The knowledge for you is knowledge of the subject and object. For Jnani, both subject and object are mithya. The thoughts will come. Okay, then he knows the thoughts are mithya. Because thoughts are mithya, whatever you see outside is unknowable, which is Atma only. For example, I see a flower. Okay, then I call it a flower and I think I know the flower. The flower is appearing that color because of my sense organs and the mind. It's instrument problem. My sense organs become very fine and superior. I have X-ray vision. There's no flower there. Okay, let's say my eyes will have no color vision. Then I can't see a red flower. Okay, so the mind is not functioning. So then there's no flower. Okay, so that means I'm using some instruments which are very limited in nature to declare something about knowledge of something in the world. Is knowledge useful? Useful. But is knowledge real? No.
So you're saying if just because a name is given to the flower, it doesn't mean that I know the flower.
It's useful for you to deal with the flower, but you don't know about the nature, right? Because what are you speaking about flower? Flower is a shape and color. Can really the flower which you are seeing in the plant, you can separate from the plant? Where does the flower start from the plant? Does it start from the root? Without root, can the flower can be there? Can the root be without the earth? Can earth be without the sun? Can be earth be sun be without the galaxy? That means you are in a flower, you are seeing the totality. But for your operational purpose, functional purpose, you cut that into a flower. The reality is infinity. That's why Buddha said it beautifully. To see the universe in a grain of sand is enlightenment. A common man sees a grain of sand. A Jnani sees the entire universe. The sand is in the seashore. Seashore is there because of earth. Earth is because sun. Sun is because of galaxy. Galaxy is because of my consciousness. The totality is present in a grain of salt. So Gnani lives in a perpetual mystery. The world is a mystery for him. Okay, because whatever you see, whatever this thing, it's actually is a small extract. Be sensations. This is like almost like a 5 blind men trying to figure out what an elephant is. Somebody touches the trunk and says, "Oh, this elephant." Somebody touches the leg and says, "This elephant." But all the 5 blind men, okay, elephant is a mystery. They convert into knowledge for dealing with it, but it's a mystery. For Gnani, the world is a perpetual mystery because he knows the sense organs are cheating me. He knows the mind is not reality. That's why for him, the entire world is a perpetual mystery. For him, the world is a mystery and self is unknowable. For Advani, everything is clear. I know this in the world. Advani has a jnana. He knows myself also. I know myself. I am, you know who am I? His memory is taking as real. Name and form is taking as real for Adnani. So Gnani has come to a stage where he understands all these are for functional purpose. That's not reality. Is the difference between Gnani and Adnani clear?
What are we living?
So you are living there to find the mystery.
Right? That is unknowable.
Huh?
That is unknowable.
Unknowable to come to that conclusion because now in between you have become very confident that knowledge is power. So answer is clear.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕ್ಕ ಮಹಾದೇವಿಯವ್ರದ್ದು ಅದೊಂದು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಎತ್ತನಿಂದ ಎತ್ತ ಸಂಬಂಧವಯ್ಯ.
Okay, are you clear? We'll continue.
ಬೆಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ
ಅಯ್ಯೋ 11 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು, ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಗಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಫಲಶ್ರುತಿ
Okay, so okay, now how does it Gnani live in samadhi? Okay, this is the question of Arjuna. The samadhi is a trance where you are not aware of what's happening outside. It's like almost like a coma. Okay, many yogis enter into that samadhi and people are fascinated with samadhi. Samadhi is useful. Okay, it will help you to give mastery of the mind, no doubt about it. But Vedanta doesn't speak about that type of samadhi. Okay, it's very different. In fact, in entire series of major Upanishads, this word samadhi is not there. The word samadhi came into because of yoga, which is not in Upanishad, original teachings of Upanishad. So yoga became very popular, samadhi became popular, and people think samadhi is realization. No. In yoga, the word samadhana is there. Okay, samadhana. It's not same as samadhi. In Shat Sampatti, Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. Okay. In Vedanta, you have to have a Samadhana, not Samadhi.
Samadhi again is temporary.
Samadhi is temporary state. Okay. Somebody goes into coma. Okay. In coma, there's even if you put a nail into his leg, you can't understand. The moment you wake up, he'll start crying. It's a temporary state. So Vedanta doesn't accept any temporary state. Vedanta speaks of your reality, which is not changing with the states. Okay. You have to find your true self, which is not dependent on any of the states. Samadhi is also state. So Vedanta doesn't question whether samadhi is useful or not. Samadhi is useful for whatever reason. But when Arjuna asks samadhi, that is not the samadhi he is asking for. It's not a trance of the yogis. Okay. Samadhi in Vedanta is samadhana, a balanced state of mind achieved by a sthita prajna. So what is the balanced state of mind? In any situation, his intellect is sharp enough to distinguish what is real, unreal, satya, mithya, nitya, anitya, Atma, Anatma distinction he makes. Okay. So when he makes the Atma, Anatma distinction, he always knows I am Brahman. Just like I am a woman. Somebody knows I am a man. Always he is aware with this intellect in the waking condition. I am Brahman. I am Atma. Atma cannot be known, but he knows himself as Atma, not as a body, mind, or intellect. What he knows? Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Manabuddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivananane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am pure consciousness, I am not the body, mind, intellect. That clarity is there all the time. He is operating from the center called Atma in the world. So when he operates from that center, there will be no karma. There's no karma, there's no reaction which accumulates in the memory. Because he's not a doer. He's not an enjoyer. No karta, not karta, not an enjoyer. No bhokta. Because he's not a karta, not enjoyer, nothing in the world touches him. He means real the consciousness. If somebody comes and hits with him in a hammer, he'll feel the body will feel the pain. But as Atma, he is not affected by anything in the world. Because he leaves the waking state like that, dream state also gets modified. Dream is nothing but a storage, memory. What is called memory? Memory gets purified. In dream state also, he'll be like that. And when dream state is also like that, deep state, in waking state, he has understood what is Atma, what's Anatma. In deep sleep state, Adnana has gone now. Adnana is, I don't know. In deep sleep, there's Adnana, I don't know. So, and that has gone. The waking state becomes a dream state becomes deep sleep state, where in all the waking, dream, deep sleep state, he is Atma only. Okay. So, the one who is established himself in the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state is called Sthita Prajna. So, Sthita Prajna may be fully engaged in the world. He may be an emperor, he may be a soldier. Okay. Whatever he does, there's no karma touches him. So, people may think that Jnani means somebody who is sitting in some place silently in Samadhi. That is also possible in some Jnani, in case of Brahmavarishta. But Jnani can be fully engaged, active in the world, still established in Brahmasthiti. Okay. He may teach, he may go to war, okay. He may compose music, but still his inner center is Atma. Outer actions will flow from Atma, not from ego. So then why, if the actions are not flowing from ego, all actions are universal actions. All actions are for dharma, or all actions are for loka kalyana. That actions will flow from him. Whatever small thing he does, or what he doesn't do also is loka kalyana. So let's say Jnani sits in silent samadhi, that's also loka kalyana, because now people get attracted to him, come to him, do a namaskar, then get some atma. So whatever Jnani does, he does out of pure consciousness, awareness, atmasthiti. His action or inaction is only for the welfare of the world. Are we clear? So don't be under the impression that Jnani means somebody who will run away from the world. No, not necessarily. If running away from the world is spirituality, then why Bhagavad Gita has to be taught to Arjuna? Arjuna wanted to run away from the world. Krishna told, no. Yogastha kuru karmani. Do with yoga. Okay. So this spirituality means many people have a misunderstanding that it's inaction or running from the world. That's only for a spiritual practice. A realized person is fully in the world, okay, but unaffected by the world, but giving beautiful fragrance to the world. He is like a lotus flower, born in mud, grows in water, but blooms in sunlight. Beautiful. It has no qualities of mud. A Jnani is like a lotus flower. He has bloomed to sunlight of wisdom. So Jnani is like a fragrance. Okay. There's a fragrance called Kasturi Mraga. Kasturi is a very fragrant fragrance. So that smells together. So Gnani spreads the fragrance of peace, love, and wisdom. Whatever Gnani does, maybe it's war, maybe it's ruling kingdom, maybe composing music, or maybe teaching, or maybe sitting silently, everything brings the fragrance of wisdom to the world. Okay. So now we'll come to karma. There are 3 types of karma. Karmani kati vidani santati chet agami satchit prarabdena trividani santi. There are 3 types of karma: sanchita karma, agami karma, prarabdha karma. Okay. Agami karma is when you do some action, okay, it brings the result. When you do some action, it brings the result. Okay. Agami karma in the future. Sometimes the result can come now, next moment. Sometimes result can come after 1 lifetime. Sometimes can come after 10 lifetimes. Okay. That's the result of action. Prarabdha is what you are experiencing now. Sanchita is accumulated karma. Okay. So there is a story in Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra, after Mahabharata war, he is crying. He asked Krishna, why this happened to me? I saw my 100 sons dying in front of my eyes, dying in front of me. Sri Krishna says, 50 lifetimes back, you were a hunter. Hunter for killing animals for his livelihood is different. You are a sadist. You burnt 100 birds, the children of the bird. What is the children of bird is what? Huh?
Chicks.
Chicks of the bird. Okay. The bird's parents cursed you that you become blind. And you also experience the pain of children dying. So then Dhritarashtra says, that was 50 lifetimes back. Now why I am suffering? Sri Krishna says, to get 100 children, you need to acquire punya. So it took about 49 lifetimes to acquire punya. And 50th lifetime, this karma triggered. That's why you are suffering. So here look at what is a kriyamana karma. Or what is a kriyamana? Kriyamana means action. So the kriyamana was Dhritarashtra burnt the birds. That's a kriyamana. That's the action done at that time. So then the result cannot come immediately. It goes into a balance, bank balance called sanchita. Because immediate result cannot be given. Immediate result cannot be given because he doesn't have 100 children. So it goes into a balance called sanchita. So balance from all the lifetimes is called sanchita karma. It's big balance, huge balance. But in the bank balance, good karma and bad karma both accumulated. A good karma came to a level where he can have 50 children, 100 children. Then bad karma and good karma gave him the body of a king, where it's called prarabdha karma, what he acquired. Okay, and that led to the experience of prarabdha karma now. Okay, so this is how the karma works. Why karma cannot give immediate result is because sometimes the result has to wait till all the conditions have to be met, and some good karma has to be activated. It is a very complex system. That's why it said Gahana karmano gatihi. Ways of action of karma is very mysterious. Everything in life is mysterious. Your karma is also mysterious. So people say, I have not done anything bad in my life. Why I am suffering? Why death is happening in my family? Our vision of life is only very narrow. The life from the universe point of view, God point of view is very, very long, infinite. The time scale of God is infinite. Whereas you look at life from 10 years, 20 years, 50 years lifetime, but God looks at you, the universe looks at you from the infinite time scale. One smart IITian did a meditation for God. Okay. So then God comes in front of him. Why? What do you want? He first asks God, what is my $1 billion for you? God says 1 cent. Okay. Then this person is very smart. He says, "Oh God, I'm asking small thing. You give me $1 billion of yours to me,
Your currency.
your currency." So God says, "Wait for 1 second, you'll get it." God's 1 second is billion lifetimes. So what we do, we look at life in a very small window of one lifetime, 10 years. The universe scale is very big. Okay. Karma operates in the universal scale, not our individual scale. Right? What happens to Sanchita Karma Abhnani? What happens to Prarabdha Karma Abhnani? What happens to Agami Karma Abhnani? What happens to Kriyamala Karma Abhnani? Sanchita Karma gives endless lifetimes, births. Okay, it'll give infinite births. Prarabdha Karma you experience in this lifetime, next lifetime something else has to be borrowed because everything is stored. Because in a given lifetime we can only experience a little bit. That's why Prarabdha Karma. Okay. When you know I am Brahman, when you have self-knowledge, I am Brahman, Sanchita Karma is destroyed completely. The infinite pool of karma is destroyed completely. Destroyed means doesn't belong to him. Okay. So here you have to understand. Earlier, the ego was owning every karma, good karma and bad karma. Ego was saying, I am owner of this. Okay. So now he has got acquired jnana. Ego has become silent. I am Brahman. I have never done any karma in life. Ego has done something, not me. The criminal is who? Ego. Now the ego is not me. I am the reality. Then what will to do with the karma? Who is the owner of that? The owner is not there. Right? The owner of karma is not there. Sanchita karma. Huh? It is like a criminals, right? Some criminals are there. They commit a crime. Okay. And they run away to some other country. There's no claimant to the property. So the ego was the guy who made the crime. Now ego has run away. It's not there. Karma is not there. Ownership or karma is not there. But Ishvara still has to maintain that karma. Because he has to act the law of karma properly. What to do with karma? So he'll redistribute the karma. Good karma of Gnani will go to his students and people who helped him realization. The bad karma of Gnani goes to people who put impediments to his spiritual progress because of whatever reason, Adnana or whatever reason. So the karma of Sanchita karma of Gnani is no longer belongs to the Gnani. It gets redistributed. Good karma goes to his students and his relatives or those people who helped him to get Jnana. The bad karma goes to people who can create obstacles for him.
Why doesn't it dissolve like ego?
No, it's a matter. Ego is not there. It's unreal.
But karma is real.
Karma was real when it's performed. From Gnani point of view, there's no karma. From the universe point of view, Ishvara point of view, is maintaining that. The Lord. So he redistributes the karma. Okay. That's why it's said in many of the Veda mantras, okay, in the Kula of Jnanis, okay, all Jnanis will be born, is said. So people think that, oh, Kula of the Jnanis means his grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, all are Jnanis. It's not like that. Okay. They'll get some punya, of course. They'll get some punya, good merit, but they need not necessarily be involved with Jnanis. For example, a lawyer's son need not be a lawyer. So in the Kula of a Jnani is actually his Gurukula. His Kula is not biological relationship. His Kula is Jnana Sambandha. Those students who come to Jnani, they belong to Jnani's Kula. It's called Gurukula. Gurukula is Guru's family. So Jnani distributes his punya to the Gurukula. So that he distributes the punya in terms of teaching, in terms of jnana, so which will go from one generation to other generation of students.
So not for the biological family.
They may get some benefit provided they receive jnana.
But this is a 40 generations of back and they get the punya.
No, 40 generation back and 7 generation of previous and 7 generation future, they'll get punya. So the punya is actually here giving a biological body, there's some karma associated. They had struggled. For that particular punya will go to them. Punya related to jnana will go to person who receives it. Who receives it? Gurukula. The Shishyas of the Guru, 7 generations of Shishyas of Guru will receive it. That means this teaching will go like that. Okay. Those who follow, those who did follow the teaching. That's why Sri Shankaracharya, whatever he taught, the teaching is a great punya. Okay, that punya has come to us. In my kula, in biological family, there is one great acharya called Gaudapadacharya, who was guru of Shankarapadacharya's guru, Govindapadacharya. Whatever punya has done, some punya has come to me, so that's why I am able to understand what Shankaracharya has told. So that's how the punya goes. Punya goes in the form of jnana. Okay. Punya also goes in the form of desire fulfillment. That's why Sri Raghavendra Swami, okay, in Vrindavan, Mantralaya, it is said that Raghavendra Swami decided to distribute his punya. Lot of punya is done. He says for 900 years, even after Samadhi, okay, 900 years even after Samadhi, his punya will be distributed to people who come and pray there. So they may pray for some material benefit or whatever, children or whatever there. Even then the punya will be granted. The idea of giving the desire fulfillment is to increase the strength, faith in that person, so that he can turn spiritual. So like that punya of Gnani gets distributed. Papa also, Gnani also gets distributed. Agami karma, whatever karma he does now, Gnani may get involved intensely in karma. He may help society. He may do more action than anybody. For example, Buddha almost 40 years he kept on teaching. That's a for karma. Okay. Because when he is doing karma, he has no concept of I am doership. His karmas are naishkarmya. They are burnt. I am the doer concept is not there. Right?
Then that goes to universe.
That goes to students.
Ishvara.
Students. Then the karma, good karma of Jnani always goes to people who meditate on Jnani, who praise Jnani, who serve Jnani, worship Jnani. Those who criticize, those who hate, those who create obstacles in Jnana will get a share of, good share of Papa done by Jnana. He would have done good Papa also earlier. Before coming to Jnana, Bhavunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Pavadre. Sanchit karma, a lot of bad karma is also there. Not that Jnani has done all good karma. So he has enough store of bad karma also, which will be given to people who.
But Sanchita karma gets destroyed for a Gnani, right?
For him gets destroyed, but Ishvara distributes so. I told you.
Sanchita karma. That's Mount Everest, no?
It's Mount Everest that gets distributed. No, there are enough people, not enough people who have created problem for Gnani. It's a many lifetimes. So in those lifetimes they create problems for Gnani, and this karma will search for them in future lifetimes and get delivered to them. Gahana, karmano, gati. It's all very, very complex. Cannot escape loss of karma. So this is the Farashruti of Atma. Okay, knower of Atma, the self-realized, has crossed samsara. Samsara means troubled, disturbances. He attains the supreme bliss here itself while alive. Knower of the self goes beyond sorrow. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bodhi. Knower of Brahman becomes Brahman only. So he says, Okay, what will happen to him? Death. Suppose his body dies. Okay, in Kashi, people say if somebody dies in Kashi, he will go to mukti, liberation, or he dies as an orphan in the street. It doesn't matter to him. Okay, where he dies, how he dies, doesn't matter. Gnani has become the eternal Brahman, immortal reality while he is alive. He is blissful. And he has no birth because he's freed from effect of all his actions. Karma is gone. This is the teaching of all Vedas. Here the confidence is given. This is the essence of teaching of all Vedas. Atmadnani is freed from all karma. He is freed from all bondages. He is the Brahman himself. And then say, this is the teaching of Smritis also. Shruti means Vedas. Smriti means written based on the Vedas. So Shrutis and Smritis proclaim that a Gnani is freed from all. Iti Tattva Bodha Prakaranam Samaptam. This is the teaching of Tattva Bodha by Sri Shankara. May all Bodha may attain the supreme knowledge of Brahman. May all of you realize the Brahman in you. Realize your self, real self, infinite, eternal, blissful Brahman. May all of you be free from Sanchita Karma, Prarabdha Karma, Agami Karma. May all of you may all those help you. You will get all your good karmas. May that good karma, jnana in the form of good karma, may reach more and more people through all of you. For a gnani, prarabdha karma body as in, then there is one thing I forgot today. Gnani's body has got a gnani body may continue after jnana also. It is like when you after breaking the car will not stop immediately, car will continue. Like that, nature keeps the gnani's body for the purpose of teaching or for loka kalyana for some time. So for that action to happen. Now the actions are not desire oriented, not selfish oriented, not fear oriented, but pure vasanas which for loka kalyana which was there will get fulfilled to the body. So next week we'll start another Upanishad. I'll announce which Upanishad from Monday onwards we'll start. Any questions?
He is very happy with the parashooting. He has sent flowers, namaskar. He listens to all the classes.
Okay.
Monday will be.
Huh? Yeah. What will I do? I'll announce it on Sunday. I'm thinking of one of the Upanishads. Which Upanishad I'm deciding.
Vaishali says pronounced.
Okay, pronounce. So you have extra bonus point. Okay, you have more, your karma, more karmas are freed because of pranams.
That too, they are sacrificing their sleep and.
So Vaishali, you didn't sleep to listen to this Falashruti. That's why extra bonus. You have to. ಬಾಯ್.
ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಗುರುಜಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ಮ ಇದೇನೋ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, ಅದ್ರ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ನಾನು ವಿಪಶ್ಯನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ವಿಪಶ್ಯನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಪಶ್ಯನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ಹೊರಬರ್ತವೆ.
ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕರ್ಮ
ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದು ಕರ್ಮ ಕಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಆ ಈಗೋ ಇಂದಲೇ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಆ ಈಗೋನು ಕಳ್ಸ್ಕೊಳುತ್ತೆ.